Right. Good evening. Today we are going to discuss a long short story that is called Mahasweta Devi, Breast Giver. Here, breast giver is a position. She gives her breast. Gives her breast means breastfeeds children. Her profession is breastfeeding children of rich families. Rich family children, rich family young ladies, they stop breastfeeding after a short period because they think that their body shape will change as a result of this. They don't like that deformity. So they stop breastfeeding their kids, and it is done by professional mother. So this particular protagonist here, she is called a breast giver, a professional mother. In India, there is a post called this professional mother, if not breast giver. Only high caste families get the service of a breast giver. And also, to be a breast giver, the woman should be high class Brahmin. Okay. Here, the story is about such a woman. There's a rich family called Halda Babu. They are also that Brahmin family. She is the breast giver for Halda Babu family, daughters and granddaughters, children. To be a breast giver, she should fulfill one thing. What? According to the story, she has given breast to more than 20 children. To breastfeed 20 children, what should the requirement? She should be a breastfeeding mother. Then to engage in a profession, every year she gets pregnant. Her husband's duty is to impregnate her. Right? My aunties, they lived in the woods, in the forest, in their home. They never did aunt say, here's sweet, so eat sweetie, here's a piece of cake, like that. Now, right, she's a poor woman, high caste, but woman poor. Jasoda, the woman's name Jasoda, doesn't remember if her aunt was kind or unkind. It is as if Kangali Charan's wife from birth. That marriage settlement also traditional Indian. At birth, she was married to Kangali Charan. Right? When the girl is born, marriage is decided. When she becomes somewhat aged, teenage, she is given to the man. The mother of 20 children, living or dead. Then she has her own 20. Some are living, some are dead. Counted on her fingers, Jasoda doesn't remember at all when there was no child in her womb. When she didn't feel faint in the morning. When Kangali's body didn't drill her body like a geologist in a darkness lit only by an oil lamp. She doesn't remember any night without that. She never had the time to calculate if she could or could not bear motherhood. Motherhood was always her way of living and keeping alive her world of countless beings. Jasoda was a mother by profession, professional mother. Jasoda was not an amateur mama like the daughters and wives of the master's house. Her master's house, their wives, they are lusty. But this woman not lusty. She makes children to be a professional mother. Jasoda was not an yes. The world belongs to the professional. In this city, this kingdom, the amateur beggar, pocket, pickpocket, hooker has no place. Even the mongrel on the path or side, the greedy crow at the garbage doesn't make room for the upset amateur. Jasoda had taken motherhood as profession. Now, her husband, yes, is working at Halda Babu's stewed baker. He has a shop. Halda Babu's son-in-law and Halda Babu's daughter car. Son-in-law drove the car for a test and that her husband, Kangali Charan, met with an accident. Car ran over his legs and legs were cut off. Right? Legs were removed. After that, she was walking with crutches. But what happened? Even so, he didn't stop his task. After that also, woman became pregnant. Why? After that, he couldn't work as a cook. Earlier, he worked as a cook at that hotel. Because Indian high-class people eat only foods made by Brahmin cook. Right? Their caste system is that far strong. So, at the end of the story, there are so many things. She gets a cancer. She doesn't like to go to hospital anyway. At last, she's admitted to hospital. Nobody looks at her. Only one son's wife admitted her to hospital. Even when she's dead, that Halda Babu house, they don't answer their phone. Hospital calls them. But nobody goes to look at her. Therefore, she's buried at the expense of the hospital. Her husband is not strong enough to bring her dead body home. Right? So, one who produced her own 20 children. Right? And one who breastfed more than 20 children. Right? Finally dies like a animal, cow. She's like a milking cow. This is a long story, isn't it? Yes. So knowing the summary is sufficient. Otherwise, at last she has no one. See how many pages are there. One by one reading takes a long time. Just like that story, our modern story, babysitter. Yes. Yes. Now, start writing the note like this. The short story, The Breast Giver, by Mahasweta Devi, is a story about a woman who engage in the profession of breastfeeding mother and the writer shows inhuman nature of the Indian society. Yes. The protagonist of the story is Jasoda, Jashoda, Jasoda, a Brahmin woman who becomes a professional witness in order to feed her family after her husband Kangalicharan meets with an accident and loses his both legs. Yes. First of all, the writer gives the idea of the caste system of India because Jasoda feeds only the
Sorry, sir. Idea of the caste system of India. After that, sir.
because Jasoda feeds only the infants of Brahmin families. Yes. In order to breastfeed high caste Brahmin kids, A woman should be from Brahmin family itself. Yes. She provides her service with a rich family called Halda Babu. Haldar Halda Babu. Babu. Babu, because that family, daughters and granddaughters, do not breastfeed breastfeed their infants after several weeks. After several weeks, uh, thinking about their body shape. Body shape. Yes. Now the writer produces two families belonging to the high caste Brahmin, uh, Halda family and Kangali Charan. Kangali Charan. Yes. Kangali also worked as a cook at Halda's hotel since Brahmin people eats only food made by uh, Brahmin cooks. Brahmin cooks. Yes. After the accident, Jasoda becomes the breadwinner of her family dedicating her life to lactating for numerous children. Yes. In order to breastfeed, every year she should have a child, and she had her own 20 children, and has lactated has lactated around the same. Yes. Therefore, she is like a cow. Though she is human. Yes. At the end of the story, she gets breast cancer, and dies in hospital alone and forgotten. Yes. Halda's family does not help her when she is seriously sick. Yes. One reason is that they hired her and she was paid for her service.
Sorry, sir. They hired her and
Paid for her service. Right? Her own children also ignore her at last, and her dead body is buried at government expense because her husband is not financially strong enough to bring her dead body home. Yes. Now, when she was giving breast, everyone respected as a breastfeeding mother. That's a respected job. Everybody respected. Yes. When she was working as a wet nurse means breastfeeding mother, wet nurse, W-E-T, wet nurse, everybody respected her, but once dead, nobody wants to give her a ritual funeral. A ritual funeral. The writer speaks about patriarchal exploitation and the dehumanization of women whose bodies become just objects. Yes. For her husband, her body is an object. Her body is an object for sexual exploitation and for rich families for breast suckling, milk suckling, milk suckling exploitation.
Sorry, sir. Milk.
Suckling, 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 exploitation. Yes. Her body become, now is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Her body becomes a tool for the survival of her family, and the preservation of wealth for others. Yes. According to the story, not 20, more than 100, according to the story, she breastfed over 100 children or 100 children during her time as a mother, in that we could see another social tragedy also. Yes. That is about her own children, her own children becoming poor in lactation as their mother.
Sorry, sir. Becoming poor in
Lactation. Today my voice fast, no?
little bit, sir,
Yes.
for me.
Poor in lactation when their mother feeds other children. Yes. The writer exposes her body as an object that is sold for economic and social benefit. Economic and social benefit. Yes. She had to engage in this job, this profession, since she had no other profession to join. Yes. Therefore, she had to fall into this difficult task. Yes. In order to breastfeed other children, she should have a child every time and having and giving birth to her own 20 children is a difficult task. Yes. But as a mother, she had to look after her family. Yes. This hard dedication is what the writer describes here. Mm. Now, however, that man without legs also runs away with another woman later. Yes. Another tragedian, sarcastic, point about Indian patriarchal society is that her legless husband runs away with another woman, leaving her behind with another woman. Yes. If she had another profession, she would join, but she was innocent. Yes. Her character shows one of the common tragedies related to India. One of the common tragedies related to India. When women have to suffer tremendously. Yes. Jasoda's situation is a direct result of patriarchal norms and the rigid class structure which confines women to be objects but not human. Yes. Jasoda's reproductive ability is treated as a commodity by wealthy Halda, HLDR, H capital Halda house or Halda house. Yes. Though her profession is highly regarded, she is driven to a misery when she becomes a cancer patient. Yes. India is a country that oppresses females and deprives their rights. Yes. This is also an example for that sort of marginalization. Yes. Her role as breast giver allows her to provide for her family by breastfeeding the offspring. You know the word offspring. OFFSPRNG, offspring of wealthier women who want to preserve their figure. Preserve their figure. Yes. Yes. Therefore, the writer produces two types of females as rich females, considering their body shape, and poor females dedicating their body for those rich women. Now, rich women, they want to preserve their figure. Therefore, they hire another woman who doesn't want to preserve her figure. She dedicates her figure for this woman. When this story was written, sometime there was no milk like today. Cow milk. We don't know why, but the little children, small boy, right, offsprings, when they are 2-3 weeks like that, formula can't be given. But Sri Lankan also, they do so. But our children, after coming from preschool also, they suckled milk, right? That was why our Sri Lankan ladies, yes. Now, women with dedication, they are actually dedicated for family. Our sympathy should be with her. Yes. Thus, the writer shows two different females as dedicated poor and ignorant rich. Now, after husband's legs are cut down, she had to look after the family. She did so. Now, she's a dedicated woman. Every woman can't be dedicated. Now, recently something happened to one man, one of my friends mean one of Malli, about 10 years like that, younger than I learned non-chemistry master. I don't tell the name. Candy Kurunagara Nugegoda, one leading chemistry master. He married one young girl about 15 years ago, like that. Last week, he had chased her away. The reason, he has given her Benz and two children, son and daughter. Son is about 12 years old. I mean, dedication, I am not gossiping. She used to go to gym. Now that man is a billionaire. His house, about 20 rooms, all air conditioned. This woman fell in love with another man, came to that gym. And about 6 months they had the affair. After dropping the children to school, she had go to Hinguragoda. Now they are my neighbors, Anuradhapura. Hinguragoda, and in a hotel, and after that about 12 again coming, within 1 hour can come to Anuradhapura. How that man one day has come home, the boy had videoed it. I don't know how he did, and sent to father. It was after that marriage finished. I mean dedication. If she lived with that man, so when we compare her with this one, Jasoda, we can understand who mothers are. Yes. That woman went home empty hand. No Benz, only dresses. Yes. Mm. The rich people exploits rich people exploits. After talking, this is what I started. Na? Rich people exploits individuals like Jasoda for their own benefits. Yes. When she becomes cancer patient, everyone, including her own children, ignores her, and she realizes that her role is over. Her role is over as she is no longer useful to anyone, including her own family, her own family. Yes, this is an example for the transactional nature of the world. Yes. Jasoda is not low caste woman, but at last she is marginalized in her own Brahmin caste, CST caste. Yes. The writer shows mm, the absurdity absurdity about the human world that that ill treats its own members. Yes, Jasoda is a common utility, and then left all alone, left all alone when she lost her middle-aged middle-aged her breast milk.
Sorry, sir. Her middle age and her.
Breast milk. Breast milk. Right? Yes. She was left to die at the hospital, being abandoned by her husband and children. Yes. Mm, The writer criticizes the inhuman world that behave in this manner. Yes. As we are told, she gave breast over 100 children, but nobody came to give her a helping hand. Yes. At least her own children could have supported her. The writer is critical at the Indian society for their inhuman behavior. Yes. A single woman feeding 100 children with breast milk is something impossible. Yes. Nevertheless, this woman accepted that task when the family is helpless. Yes. Helplessness and extreme poverty can lead dedicated mothers to become this type of professionals. Yes. Though that is not highlighted, poverty is one of the themes here. Yes. In the story, the writer shows the difference between rich Halda family and poor rich Halda family and poor Jasoda's family. Yes. One time, Jasoda is called cow mother. Cow mother. Yes. When Jasoda goes out to feed children, her husband becomes the cook at home. In addition to breastfeeding, she also served as a midwife for Brahmin families. Yes, therefore, she becomes a very important woman, very important woman for the family, but at last she is discarded. She is discarded as a useless object. Yes, useless object. Throughout the story, the writer describes this woman's dedication and at last
Sorry, sir. The writer describes this
woman's dedication and at last she becomes isolated in hospital. Yes. When her breast become red, her son does not care. Yes, therefore, they left till her developed, her cancer, Yes. Jasoda is not anyway a single character, but a common, common representative of many poor women whose life is dedicated for children and husband. Yes. Her soul, SOL, soul, intention. Her soul, soul intention in engaging in this profession is supporting her family with economy. Yes. Full stop. Her character shows that there are no pains that a woman cannot tolerate. Yes. She experienced labor pain 20 times, but she does not complain it. Now, it is what is the most serious pain in the world? It's called labor pain. That is the motherhood. When you are passing labor room, see women are hooting, shouting, and calling their husbands in abusive voice. One teacher told me when she was admitted one hospital in Nuvarelia for delivery, Tamil women scolding husbands in both Sinhala and Tamil. So Sinhala nubbaino, Demalu nubbaino husband. But after going home, within 1 month, everything is forgotten. Again, next year, same time, again come to the labor room. Right? Hereafter, I won't give you, this is the last time, like that. one lady called me when she was admitted. The lady shouts, "Ape අම්මට එන්න කියන්න." එතකොට මේ මිසිලා කියනවලු. Mrs. nurse says, "වාගේ husband ඇවිල්ලා එනවා. එයා එපා අම්මට එන්න කියන්න. මට ඉතිපිසෝ ගාතාව කියන්න කියනවා." Right? So what I want to say is dedication. Dedication. This woman dedicated a lot, but no one helps her at last. Right. Dedication of females. Yes. Inhuman nature of society patriarchal exploitation extreme poverty etc. can be taken as themes of this story. Yes. Sandhani, can you read?
Can, sir?
Yes.
Sorry. The short story, The Breast Giver by Mahasweta Devi, is a story about a woman who engaged in profession of breast giver, and the writer shows inhuman nature of the Indian society. The protagonist of the story is Yashoda, a Brahmin woman who becomes a professional veterinarian in order to feed her family after her husband
losing.
Wait, sir. Sorry, what's the main name, sir? Kangali Charan. Okay, sir. Kangali Charan meets with an accident and loses his both legs. First of all, the writer gives the idea of the caste system of India because Yashoda feeds only the infants of Brahmin family. In order to breastfeed high caste Brahmin kids, a woman should be from Brahmin family from itself. She provides her service with a rich family called Halda Babu because that family daughters and granddaughters do not breastfeed their infants after several weeks thinking about their body shape. Now the writer produces two families belongs to the high class Brahmin, Halda family and Kangali Charan. Kangali also worked as a cook at Halda's hotel since Brahmin people eats only food made by Brahmin cooks. After the accident, Yashoda becomes the breadwinner of her family, dedicating her life to lactating for numerous. In order to breastfeed, she should have a child, and she had her own 20 children and has lactated around the same. Therefore, she is like a cow, though she is human. At the end of the story, she gets her breast cancer and dies in hospital alone and forgotten. Halda's family does not help her when she is seriously sick. One reason is that they hired her and paid for her service. Her own children also ignore her at last, and her dead body is buried government expense because her husband is not financially strong enough to bring her dead body home. When she was working as witness, everybody respected her, but once dead, nobody wants to give her a ritual funeral. The writer speaks about patriarchal exploitation and dehumanization of women whose body is become just object. For her husband, her body is an object for a sexual exploitation, and for rich families, for milk suckling exploitation. Her body becomes a tool for the survival of her family, and the preservation of wealth for others. According to the story, she breastfed over 100 children during her time as a mother. In that, we could see another social tragedy also, that is about her own children becoming poor in lactation when their mother feeds other children. The writer exposes her body as an object that is sold for economic and social benefit. She had to engage in this profession since she had no other profession to join. Therefore, she had to fall into this difficult task. In order to breastfeed other children, she should have uh, child every time, and giving birth to her own twin children is a difficult task. But as a mother, she had to look after her family. This hard dedication is what the writer describes here. Another tragic and sarcastic point about Indian patriarchal society is that her legless husband runs away with another woman, leaving her behind with another woman. If she had another profession, she would join, but she was innocent. Her character shows one of the common tragedy related to India when women have to suffer tremendously. Yashoda's situation is a direct result of patriarchal norms and the rigid class structure which confines women to be objects but not human. Yashoda's reproductive ability to treat it as a commodity by wealthy Halda house. Though her profession is highly regarded, she is driven to a mystery when she becomes a cancer patient. India is a country that oppresses females and deprives their rights. This is also an example for that sort of marginalization. Her role as a breast giver allows her to provide for her family by breastfeeding offspring of uh, wealthier women who want to preserve their figure. Therefore, the writer produces two types of females, as rich females considering their body shape and poor females dedicating their body for those rich women. Thus, the writer shows two different females as dedicated poor and ignorant rich. The rich people exploits individuals like Yashoda for their own benefits. When becomes the cancer patient, everyone, including her own children, ignores her, and she realizes that her role is over as she is no longer useful to anyone, including her own family. This is an example for the transactional nature of the world. Yashoda is not low caste woman, but at last she is marginalized in her own family, Brahmin caste. The writer shows the absurdity about the human world that ill-treats its own members. Yashoda is a common utility and then left all alone when she lost her middle age and her breast milk. She was left to die at the hospital, being abandoned by her husband and children. The writer criticizes inhuman world that behave in this manner. As we are told, she gave breast over 100 children, but nobody came to give her a helping hand. At least her own children could have supported her. The writer is critical at the Indian society for their inhuman behavior. A single woman feeding 100 children with her breast children is something impossible. Nevertheless, this woman accepted that task when the family is helpless. Helplessness and extreme poverty can lead dedicated mothers to become this type of professionals. Though that is not highlighted, poverty is one of the themes here. In the story, the writer shows the difference between rich Halda family and poor Yashoda's family. One time, Yashoda is called cow mother. When Yashoda goes out to feed children, her husband becomes the cook at home. In addition to breastfeeding, she also served as a midwife for Brahmin families. Therefore, she becomes a very important woman for the family. But at last, she is discarded as a useless object. Throughout the story, the writer describes this woman's dedication, and at last she becomes isolated in hospital. When her breast become red, her son does not care. Therefore, they left till her developed her cancer. Yashoda is not anyway single character, but a common representative of many women, many poor women in many poor women whose life is dedicated to children and husband. Her sole intention is in engaging this profession is supporting her family with economy. Her character shows that there are no pains that a woman cannot tolerate. She experienced labor pain 20 times, but she does not complain it. Dedication of females, inhuman nature of society, patriarchal society, extreme poverty, etc. can be taken as themes of this story. That's all, sir.
Yes, that woman's name Jasoda, J-A, yeah? J-A.
Okay, sir. I wrote as Yaso. Yashoda. I will correct, sir.
Because our country Yasodas are there. Yes. Right. Let's meet tomorrow 8:30. Then this short story finish. Awakening of Dr. Kirti later I will do. So we discuss this all short stories, I think now. Sita Kulatunga Haitia we discussed. Yes. And after that, interpret of melodies, okay. What are the other stories here? Interpret of melodies, okay. The moment before the gun went off, did we discuss? Marish Vandayu? Yes.
Yes, sir.
And action and reaction?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, action and reaction also we discussed. And this story university gave up me because it is too abusive. Shan Karna Tilaka. Yes, I am virgin. I won't like my appa. Discussing appa is big, very big, hard. Abusive things. After that, Sita Krutung Haitya, yes, right. And then okay. Yes, Sita Krutung Haitya, right. Then this short story is okay. Under poems, we also did Richard Soisa. We did Richard Soisa, Patrick Fernando, Lakdasa Vikramsinghe. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then there are several points are remaining. I will do that later. And now we are going to fictions and play. Yes. Okay. Then let's meet tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good